What if the greatest adventures in human history weren't just about discovery, but about destruction? We celebrate explorers like Magellan and Columbus as heroes who expanded the boundaries of the known world. Their epic journeys are often portrayed as triumphant tales of courage and curiosity. But beneath this heroic narrative lies a far more unsettling truth. These voyages unleashed an ecological domino effect that reshaped entire ecosystems and led to the extinction of countless species. Today, we're going to challenge the way we think about exploration and its consequences, revealing a perspective that history books rarely show us. The romanticized explorer narrative. For centuries, explorers have been cast as fearless pioneers, bravely venturing into unknown lands. We imagine them stepping onto pristine shores, discovering empty islands and vast continents that awaited human presence. This image has been deeply ingrained in our cultural consciousness, celebrated in literature, art, and education. But the reality is far more complex. Many of the lands discovered by explorers were far from empty. They were vibrant ecosystems, home to intricate webs of life that had evolved over millennia. Indigenous peoples had cultivated and managed these environments, often maintaining a delicate balance with nature. The arrival of explorers disrupted these systems in profound ways. Historical narratives often omit or downplay the environmental damage caused by exploration. Instead, they focus on human achievements, mapping new territories, establishing trade routes, and expanding empires. But what if these heroes of discovery were also unwitting agents of ecological destruction? What if their journeys set in motion a chain of events that led to some of the planet's greatest biological losses? This romanticized view blinds us to the true cost of exploration. It's time to look beyond the stories of conquest and adventure and confront the ecological realities that followed. Uninvited guests, the biotic exchange. One of the most significant and lasting impacts of exploration was the introduction of invasive species, plants, animals, and pathogens transported across oceans and continents, often unintentionally. This biological exchange, sometimes called the Columbian Exchange, transformed ecosystems worldwide. Take, for example, the case of rats and goats introduced to isolated island ecosystems. Islands often host unique species found nowhere else on Earth, evolved in isolation without natural predators or competitors. When explorers brought rats aboard their ships, these rodents escaped and multiplied rapidly, preying on native birds' eggs and competing with indigenous species for food. Similarly, goats released on islands grazed heavily on native vegetation, destroying habitats and causing soil erosion. The impact was catastrophic. Entire bird populations vanished, plants disappeared, and the delicate balance of island ecosystems was shattered. These invasions triggered a wave of extinctions that continue to this day. But it wasn't just animals. Explorers also carried new pathogens, viruses, and bacteria to which indigenous populations had no immunity. Diseases like smallpox, measles, and influenza swept through native communities, causing mortality rates as high as 90% in some cases. This biological onslaught decimated human populations and altered the course of history. The biotic exchange reshaped both natural and human worlds, illustrating how interconnected and fragile life on Earth truly is. Resource exploitation and habitat destruction. Exploration opened the door to intense resource exploitation that accelerated environmental degradation. The pursuit of natural wealth, fur, timber, whale oil, and precious metals, drove unsustainable practices that devastated ecosystems. The early fur trade, for instance, led to the overhunting of beavers and other fur-bearing animals in North America. These species played crucial roles in their habitats, such as creating wetlands that supported diverse life forms. Their decline caused ripple effects throughout ecosystems. Whaling expeditions hunted whales to near extinction, disrupting marine food chains and oceanic nutrient cycles. Timber extraction cleared vast tracts of forest, fragmenting habitats and reducing biodiversity. These activities often accompanied the establishment of permanent settlements, further intensifying habitat loss. Despite their significance, these environmental impacts are frequently overshadowed by the economic and geopolitical narratives of exploration. The destruction of habitats and the fragmentation of ecosystems were often seen as acceptable collateral damage in the quest for progress. Yet, these early examples foreshadowed modern environmental challenges. Deforestation, overexploitation, and habitat fragmentation remain critical threats to biodiversity today. The ripple effect, cascading extinctions. The loss of a single species can have far-reaching consequences, triggering a cascade of extinctions and population declines. This phenomenon is especially pronounced when keystone species, those that play a pivotal role in maintaining ecosystem structure, are affected. For example, the extinction of a predator can lead to overpopulation of prey species, which then overconsume vegetation and degrade habitats. Conversely, the loss of a key pollinator can reduce plant reproduction, affecting food availability for other animals. Historical exploration indirectly caused such cascading effects. The introduction of invasive species, habitat destruction, and overhunting disrupted ecological networks, leading to co-extinctions, where the loss of one species causes the extinction of others dependent on it. One striking example is the decline of the dodo bird on Mauritius, an island ecosystem profoundly altered by human arrival. The dodo's extinction was linked to introduced species like rats and pigs, which preyed on its eggs and competed for resources. This loss affected seed dispersal and forest regeneration, demonstrating how interconnected these systems are. These ripple effects highlight the complexity of ecosystems and the unintended consequences of human actions. Modern echoes and lessons learned. The ecological disruptions caused by historical exploration are not relics of the past. They continue to influence contemporary conservation challenges. Invasive species remain one of the leading causes of biodiversity loss worldwide. Habitat destruction and fragmentation persist as major threats. Modern biosecurity measures aim to prevent the introduction of invasive species, while responsible tourism promotes minimizing human impact on fragile environments. Conservationists study historical cases to understand the mechanisms of ecological change and develop strategies to mitigate damage. Understanding the long-term ecological imbalance created by exploration's disruptions is crucial for safeguarding Earth's future. It reminds us that human actions, even those undertaken with curiosity and ambition, can have profound and lasting effects on the natural world. By learning from history, we can make informed choices today, protecting biodiversity, restoring ecosystems, and respecting the delicate balance of life on our planet.